winning, and so I expect an angry Houston team, and boy, SMU comes in shorthanded. This is not what Tim Jankovich wanted, was to catch Houston when they're angry.
Yeah, they might have a rotation of about 6.5 players tonight, and one of those players is going to be on a minute count, and that's Jure Foster, who has the basketball. He's number 10 for SMU. An SMU team that has 3 straight losses. They've lost 8 of 9, and now an early foul on the aforementioned Jure Foster.
Well, Landon Gosling getting a start because of senior night, and a nice idea by Tim Jankovich. Go at him immediately and see how long Kelvin will keep him in the lineup, but a nice job playing post defense by Gosling. Gosling
his first start here from St. Edwards. It's his final season play basketball in Houston. Corey Davis Jr. got his man in the air. Air ball and rebound there by Fabian White.
SMU actually won the rebounding battle the first time these two teams played, but man, in their last outing against Wichita State, they just got pounded on the boards.
Ray Foster, a senior from North Shore High School, the Houston suburb. He's got a lot of family in town. Getting a start tonight. 8 on the shot clock. Shagwa to Hunt, throws it down.
Yeah, terrific recognition by Shagwa. Houston does such a nice job. They always double team the post. Shagwa turned, reverse pivoted, and faced the lane. Very nice fundamental basketball by the big fella.
Brian Brady off the glass, the senior with his first bucket of the night.
That was interesting. We watched Tim Jankovich emphasize in practice, take away the 3. Kelvin Sampson comes out and goes, look, they're going to take away the 3. We've got to go inside to Brian Brady.
And this Houston defense priding itself. 3 on the shot clock. Mike for 3, and that's a big basket for SMU. Isaiah Mike, his last few games, just 1 of 14 from 3. He had about a 4-game stretch where he was hitting 70% from 3, and that's the first one going in tonight for Mike.
I had 15 points in the first meeting.
Brady strong on the rebound and the putback. Four early points for Brian Brady. Foster for 3.
Yeah, just his 7th 3-point field goal made of the season for Jure Foster.
Ray Foster coming off an injury, a sprained leg, a sprained knee, and he's back in the lineup, just his 2nd full game back in the starting lineup. Played 20 minutes, fewer than 20 minutes in the last game against Wichita State.
Well, the staff told us he's going to be on a pitch count in this game, that he will not exceed 20 minutes in this game. What a great start offensively for SMU.
Jamal McMurray puts that one in, and with as thin as they are, he's a volume shooter. That volume might be in excess tonight here in Houston. Rebound here for Foster.
Well, if ever a team had a reason to come in playing loose and with house money, it is these Mustangs here this evening.
Shagwa no on the 3. Gosling with the rebound. And here's Galen Robinson. 97 career wins. That's 2nd all-time here at Houston. Finds White.
SMU's 2-3 zone there, giving that high post to Houston. That's the 3rd consecutive shot from that same spot on the floor. Fabian White has missed 2. Brian Brady has missed 1.
SMU team that has lost 8 of its last 9. 6 of those 9 losses, though, coming in single-digit fashion. Is this going the other way? It is. Foul on Ferron Hunt. SMU with a 10-6 lead. Breon Brady. So what that means is UCF, they've already clinched a first-round bye in the AAC tournament. They already clinched that. They can earn a 2 seed if they win their last couple of games, so 1 down, 1 to go, and if Houston beats Cincinnati this weekend. So that's how that can happen. But regardless, Cincinnati versus Houston coming up on Sunday for the 1 seed in the conference tournament.
I mean, it builds up just to a perfect ending for the season. And you look, UCF was picked to win the American this year, so it's not a matter of Cincinnati looking past UCF. But, man, what a big, big win for UCF in that game tonight.
And if UCF does finish in second, then you could get a rematch of Houston and UCF in that conference championship game. That foul on Ferron Hunt, that is his second team foul, number 3 for the Mustangs. And Houston just dominant right here at home. In fact, in other places at home as well. Hawthorne's Pavilion, H&P Arena, home of Texas Southern, and then the Fertitta Center. Coach Sampson talking about a couple of these seniors, whether it's Corey Davis or Breon Brady, started their home careers on the campus of Texas Southern. And here they are now, the Fertitta Center.
You know, they have won 33 of their last 34 home games. And it's crazy. It's a testament to Kelvin Sampson and his staff. What they built without practice facilities and without an arena to have a 33-game home winning streak is absolutely remarkable.
Mike and Breon Brady not letting go of that basketball, but it will be Houston ball on the possession arrow. Kelvin Sampson, great to catch up with him today on senior day. Just says, I love these kids. There's something special, this bond that he has with this group.
You know, typically on senior night, you're worried about your kids being too emotional, right? Hey, the most emotional person in the whole stinking arena was Kelvin Sampson. He's out there, tears running down his face. His daughter looks at us and goes, I can't get him to smile. I said, well, you can't smile while you're crying, Lauren.
Well, and he had to do it 4 separate times, 4 separate seniors walking up to him with the framed pictures and the family. And now they got to go play a basketball game. Davis, he's on the board.
Houston has got to keep pounding that ball inside. Needless to say, Tim Jankovic playing with 6.5 players. Boy, get somebody in foul trouble, and SMU is really in a jam.
Heavy minutes tonight going to be required. Here's some heavy lifting for the SMU Mustangs. Shagwa looking for Mike, but it's deflected. Here's Nate Hinton. They have some numbers. Nice inside feed to Brady.
Look, Houston is going to double team the post every single time the ball goes in. And it's not necessarily because they think Shagwa is a scoring threat, but they want to force turnovers, make the big guy have to make a decision with pressure.
That's 8 points for Brady. It's a 6-0 run. Jamal McMurray trying to put a stop to that. He can't. And that will be Houston basketball.
Well, Nate Hinton doing a nice job double teaming the post player, and then they get out and run, and Galen Robinson always with his head up. He will finish his career as one of the best assist men in the history of this program.
He's up there with someone else I know. Might be sitting to my right.
Let me tell you something. Galen Robinson has played with some good basketball players. Rob Gray last year, Corey Davis. Let me tell you something. You put that kid on the court with the 2 that I played with or the 5 that I played with, he'd have had 2,000 assists.
We got a foul on the floor. This is going to be Nate Hinton. Back to Galen Robinson, number 25 for Houston. Asked him today. Said, look, this is senior day. You're the hometown kid from Houston. And as Kelvin Sampson said in the pregame introductions, Said he bought into a vision when there was nothing there to see.
You couldn't take them to show them anything. You just have to bring recruits into the coach's office and talk about what it's going to be like. And let me tell you something. It may be senior night for Houston, but what a great start to this game offensively for SMU.
McMurray, a couple of field goals. He's gonna have to do a bunch of heavy lifting here tonight. He's got a 34-point game to his credit this year, but there's Armani Brooks for three. You do not have to be a senior to score on senior night. That is not a requirement. The junior buries the deep shot.
Look, if you're leaving Armani Brooks open, you did not pay attention in the scouting report.
72% of his shot attempts come from long range. He's got length. 7 20-point games this season.
Struggled on Saturday, just 1 for 5 behind the three-point line. And look, SMU does not want to play a fast tempo in this game.
Robinson gets tripped up there by William Douglas.
Armani Brooks has elite level distance. He is a tremendous catch and shoot player, and it doesn't really matter where he is on the floor. And surprisingly, not only is he one of the best three-point shooters, he's also the best rebounder for this Houston team, averaging 6 rebounds per game.
2 3-pointers away from 100 on the season for Armani Brooks, as Robinson will take him to a seat.
Anticipate that at every dead ball, somebody for Houston will be checking in. This is a very deep team, and they play a 10-man rotation, and Kelvin Sampson will be trying to create some fatigue in those black jerseys.
Three-pointer number 99 on the season for Armani Brooks.
One of just 3 players in the American Athletic Conference to be in the top 16 in scoring and rebounding.
Brooks defending Dixon. 7 on the shot clock. Here's McMurray. Spinning on Davis to Young, and he steps. And before you know it, that shot clock is under 10, and SMU is just trying to get into its offense. Houston with a 5-point lead.
So some Houston royalty at this game.
3 or 4 men not requiring name tags.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
In attendance. Tillman Fertitta supplying a $20 million donation. Owner of the Houston Rockets. And Kelvin Sampson saying today that not sure that the facility gets done without his help. Davis for 3. McMurray tried to slip that one in there to Hunt, and it will stay SMU ball.
Well, Jimmy Witt not playing in this game was the leading scorer the first time these two teams played, and he is not only their floor leader, but he is their ball handler. He's one of the best assist-to-turnover ratio guys in the American Athletic Conference. And so you look out there on the floor, and there's very few SMU Mustangs that are not upside down with Jimmy Witt sitting on the bench.
How about that? The witness there, and his own logo there on the jacket. Styling, but not the uniform that they were hoping he would wear today. Nursing an AC joint sprain. No such issues for Armani Brooks.
It's going to be a tough decision for Tim Jankovic. How long do you stay in this 2-3 zone when you cannot match up with all of the Houston shooters?
15-3 run for Houston. Mike trying to throw that one down. He was met near the rim by Gresham, and there's a foul.
I don't think Isaiah Mike was close enough to the rim to finish that play, but it sure started out spectacularly. Holy smokes, did he go to the rim.
Be like Mike?
Yeah, man. It is not often that you can take the ball outside the three-point line and get all the way to the rim against this Houston team before you run into somebody.
Matt Dixon takes a seat. Isaiah Mike at the line. You look at what Brooks and Brady have done, outscoring SMU by themselves 17-14. This game has a chance of getting away from SMU. The Cougars just so deep. SMU pretty thin.
Yeah, that's Dejan Giroux's fault. Anytime a ball screen's coming for an on-the-ball screen, it is better to be late than early. If you're Dejan Giroux, you've got to wait until you hear those feet pop before you take off on the dribble.
That's 2 fouls there on Grisham. You look at the infirmary that SMU has going tonight. Jimmy Witt is out. C.J. White. So you got your point guard, your backup point guard, both out. Jere Foster's on a pitch count. And Everett Ray has been out for the season with an injury. Robinson, healthy.
C.J. White was expected to play. Took a blow to the head in practice yesterday and is in the concussion protocol.
Kelvin Sampson didn't like the way his team got back on defense.
Good timeout. Not necessarily Tim Jankovich didn't call it. Kelvin Sampson not happy with his team not getting back, but it was a good break for SMU to catch their breath.
Something Sampson stressed today in shoot around, just getting back in defensive transition. Not sure how you defend that. It's Breon Brady with the left hand.
Well, you just have to spread out on those shooters, and what made that basket work is Breon Brady's fake pass. He pass faked out to the perimeter to create that separation.
Another foul on Jere Foster. That is his second. He's on a minute count, but right now his foul count is up to 2.
Played 4 minutes of the game the first time these two teams met, and has not played since then until the game Sunday against Wichita State. Tim Jankovich telling us that he has only played 4 days of basketball in the last 6 weeks.
Didn't play the first 6 games of the year, then played 11, then missed the next 10 with that sprained knee. See him wearing that knee brace out there, as he has now sat the bench. Hinton finding some space.
Well, I tell you what, Jankovich, at some point he's going to look up and say, we're just going to have to go man-to-man. And when you don't go very deep, you've already got 2 guys with 2 fouls in the first half. That is going to be a tough decision to make.
Houston's largest lead in this first half. It's 11. Shagwa faces a double team, and Hinton knocks that one out of bounds with 8 on the shot clock.
Now, Shagwa knew that double team was coming. He kept looking and looking and looking, and sure enough, it came.
Saturday, it's the final weekend of the regular season. 2 of the best games on ESPN. Number 4, Duke, facing number 3, North Carolina. Part 2 at 6 Eastern. Then it's Michigan and Michigan State, and another big-time sequel. Both games also streaming live on the ESPN app, so you can watch them anywhere. Foul here on Houston. Looking forward to Michigan and Michigan State. Rematch as Michigan State won the first meeting in Ann Arbor. A foul on Fabian White for Houston.
Ethan Shagwa had a double-double the first time these two teams played. The 12 rebounds, a career high. SMU staying in the 2-3 zone.
William Douglas, number 3 on the floor here for SMU, facing number 3 Brooks. Shagwa to the deck. Douglas with the basketball. Shagwa steps. Turnover number 9 for the Mustangs. And an 8-point lead for Houston on single
percentage defense. And we talked about it earlier. This presents a real dilemma for Tim Jankovic. Armani Brooks is just pouring in threes. And at some point, you got to think about, even though you don't have the depth, getting out of this 2-3 zone and matching up man-to-man.
Yeah, what's the downside of going to man with this lack of depth?
Well, the fatigue factor. You've already got 2 key players with 2 fouls. You don't want them to get their 3rd foul before halftime, but you also can't afford to let the game get away from you.
Breon Brady is halfway to his jersey number right now at 12 points. The senior on senior night leading the way. It's a 10-point lead for the Cougs. Shagwa for 3.
SMU only averages 11 turnovers per game. They already have 9. They are getting outscored 15-0 in the first half in points off turnovers.
Think about this SMU team and how dominant they used to be just a couple of short years ago. AP top 10 team in 4 of the last 6 seasons, couple of regular season conference tournament titles, but beset with injuries and sanctions, and here they are trying to make something of this season. McMurray buries the J.
Averages 18 points per game. He has been very good on the offensive end here in the first half. Look at that zone defense out there on the wings, how far they are spreading out and just opening up the middle.
Travel on Robinson, the senior. Asked Robinson today, a lot of seniors sometimes they can have there's too much emotion in senior night. What do you want tonight? What do you expect? Didn't say anything about points or the dunk that he had earlier. Just said, I want to play well enough just to get us a win. That's the PC way to put that. He's got a lot of family and folks in town. Alley-oop, no good. Mike off of his fingertips. Here comes Robinson. And another turnover.
2 turnovers in a row for Galen Robinson. Very uncharacteristic. You know, that's the tough thing about senior night, right? And you and I were talking about, in this age of social media, it seems to be magnified. These kids are tweeting out, last time down the tunnel, and last time I warm up, and last time I run out to the fight song. And
last time I tweet about running out to the fight song.
Yeah, that's right. If you're Kelvin Sampson, you're like, okay, let's get past that and start playing basketball.
It's out of bounds.
Turnovers just killing SMU.
And Ted Valentine points it is SMU ball, but I think we're going to get a correction here as Don Daly talks to him as well. Looked like that ball hit Kelvin Sampson.
Yeah, that's the right call. A nice piece of officiating. Ted Valentine deferring to Don Daly, who had a better angle on it.
Kelvin Sampson walking away from official Ted Valentine.
It's amazing with 10 turnovers in the first half, you know, not playing very well on the defensive end. Here's SMU, just 5 points from the lead. And so credit SMU with a very resilient first half.
11 turnovers for SMU, but another one here for Houston.
It's the 3rd consecutive turnover for Houston.
Got a traveling party here, Reed Guinness.
Yeah, well, it's gotten really ugly the last couple of minutes. But I tell you what, Jamal McMurray's lucky they called a travel, because he hooked with that right elbow, and that could have been an offensive foul.
Bring your passport tonight to the Kita Center.
Yeah, a lot of traveling.
Yeah, just a little bit. A TSA pre-check required. Here's Giroux inside to White. And we got a foul. Foul on Ethan Shagwa for SMU. And that is the 6th team foul. Here's Fabian White, one of the main reasons that Kelvin Sampson very encouraged about what's coming next season, despite the departures of these seniors. We saw it before the game, the emotion from Kelvin Sampson. You had Galen Robinson, Corey Davis, Breon Brady, Landon Gosling with their friends and family being honored before the game. It's always a question. Do you do that before the game? Do you do it after the game?
What do you think?
I say wait.
Yeah.
But if you lose, do people hang around?
Yeah.
You might as well just get it out of the way.
Yeah, then you're in a crappy mood. Who wants to celebrate, right? Hey, it's a cool night, but the challenge is always how quick can you get past the surge of emotions and get back to playing basketball.
Hitting inside to White, can't connect. Give him a rebound and give him a putback.
Now this is a typical Houston offensive game. All threes and at the rim.
Kelvin Sampson saying in that loss to UCF, he felt we got away from our center. Our center being defense, but specifically rebounding. He said that's where it shows up the most. And they've been suffering on that end the last few games, according to Kelvin Sampson. That's 2 on Fabian White. So these practices this week have been all about returning to center, the DNA, the culture of this program, and those practices have been fairly intense.
Including 2 hours before this game. Just not your average shoot-around walkthrough on the day of a game.
And he didn't care if you're a senior or a freshman, or it's just another day of the week for Kelvin Sampson.
You and I went from sitting down on the court and we moved up a few rows.
Thank goodness for that second deck here at the Fertitta Center. Giroux off the glass.
Dejan Giroux has the ability to just slip and slither and bend his body and get to the rim almost at will.
68% over his last few games. Had a couple of turnovers late against UCF, but making up for it here. How about McMurray?
Now with 9 points.
Giroux, here's Hinton flying in for the rebound. To Brooks for 3.
That is a backbreaker. The offensive rebound, kick out 3.
Brooks has attempted 4 threes. He has made 4 threes. A lot of offensive weapons here for this Houston team. Shagwa and 1. They can get you on the inside, they can get you on the outside.
Dejan Giroux sliding to the basket and then turn.
4 to go here in this first half. Bench points for Houston. Just about depth and talent. Houston 16 love in those bench points versus SMU.
Armani Brooks is a perfect, you mentioned it, 4 for 4 from the three-point line, but the rest of the team 0 for 6. Man, turnovers are the story of this first half. 13 turnovers for the Mustangs.
Only 12 combined turnovers the last time these two teams met. And SMU has 13 to their name.
Well, you're on the road against the number 12 team in the country. In the first half, you're a minus 21 in points off turnovers.
Houston does not give you an inch.
No.
The screen from Mike. Jamal McMurray. They're going to need a bunch of that tonight.
Well, he's been great. I'm surprised Corey Davis keeps going underneath that screen on Jamal McMurray, and that's about the 3rd time he's stopped in the pocket and buried a jump shot. At some point, you gotta quit going underneath it. Get up on the top and push him away from it.
He can hit threes. As Hinton can't get the roll. Tried to be saved there by Brady, and it is to Giroux.
Giroux got away with a push with his right arm.
Davis.
And interesting, Nate Hinton turns down a wide open 13-foot shot at the elbow to kick it out to Corey Davis for a 24-foot shot.
what they do in Houston. They want threes, right? That's what they do in this city.
You get to the rim or shoot a three.
8 on the shot clock. Shagwa for 3. Wow.
His second three-pointer, that one was deep. He's got
13. 1 minute to go here in this first half. SMU still within shouting distance. McMurray. Yes.
Yeah, what's interesting, SMU has been at their best when they're not even trying to run their sets, right? Coming down in transition before the defense gets set up and just taking the first good look they get at the basket.
SMU scored 55 or fewer points in each of their last 3 games. They got 37. But Davis with another long-range bomb. He's in double figures. Senior night, you may as well do it. Corey Davis Jr. with the 3. He's got 10. It's a 3-point party tonight.
Yeah, SMU 7 for 9 from behind the 3-point line. We keep talking about all the different guys knocking them down for Houston, and SMU really hot from behind the line. But again, the ability of Houston to throw that ball into the middle of the 2-3 zone, and then the quick kick-out pass for the open jump shot.
Look at that 3-point shooting percentage. SMU, yeah, you'll take roughly 78%. 7 of 9 tonight. Be sure to tip off your weekend with a really good NBA Friday doubleheader. Speaking of Houston, it's the Sixers and the Rockets, 8 o'clock Eastern. James Harden and H-Town, they've won 6 straight. Then the Nuggets and Warriors. Denver trails Golden State by a game and a half for the top spot in the West. Our coverage begins with NBA Countdown at 7 Eastern on ESPN and the ESPN app. This is a split-second differential from shot clock and game clock. SMU going to hold for 1. They've scored on their last 5 possessions. Anybody but McMurray putting this shot up?
If so, they didn't pay attention during the timeout.
Dixon, the handoff to McMurray. 5 on the game clock. Off the back of the iron. Tip, no. McMurray, and did not get that shot off. And it wouldn't have mattered. Well, we've had 13 combined made 3-pointers here in the first half. It's a 9-point lead for